This podcast is made possible by supporters like you. Mahalo. And by Atlas Insurance Agency, Hawaii's largest professional agency, helping Hawaii navigate insurance solutions since 1929. More at atlasinsurance.com.
Aloha mai kako. Welcome to a new episode of What School You Went. Start every conversation with that question. I'm Ron Mizutani, and today we're going to be talking about, well, a couple of subjects, but one of them being mentalism, which is a performing art in which practitioners appear to demonstrate highly developed mental and intuitive abilities. I want to welcome Alan Arita, not just a psychic, but uses his five senses to create an illusion of a sixth sense, or is it sixth sense?
Sixth sense, correct.
Sixth sense, yeah. Welcome, magician, mentalist, Alan Arita to PBS Hawaii. Alan, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
So good to have you here. I'm just intrigued by this whole topic, and I've seen your great work, so I said, you know what, I'm going to give him a call. Before we continue, what school you went?
I'm born and raised in Kalihi, Farrington High School.
Oh, you're a governor.
Yes.
Right on, right on. So because we all know the governors have a ton of who's who as far as alum. Anybody famous in your class besides you?
Well, Clarence Pacaro. You know, Pacaro family is really famous. I guess well known for athlete, and he's a judge right now.
Yeah.
So he was my classmate. We used to hang out together. Yeah.
Pacaros, yeah, good family. Yeah, Sweetie is a good friend of ours as well. So yeah, very, very good family. You went on to become a police officer.
Yes.
How many years?
30 years in the police department.
A retired HPD.
Yes,
as
retired as a captain. Retired 17 years ago, believe it or not.
Wow. Well, you look like you're 28 years old.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. That's amazing. Retirement's been good to you.
Yeah, it's fun.
You know, when I look at what you do, how did police work even help you? Because you were doing it this on the side throughout your career.
Yes, correct.
Did police work help you?
Just to let you know, to clarify that mentalism thing, I'm not psychic, I'm not telepathic, but my doctor says I'm psychopathic. That's another story, okay?
I will take it.
However, once somebody asked me that question, and they knew I was a police officer and they knew I was a magician. So I think they said that you like to solve crime and you like to find out how it's done, in magic. So that maybe kind of intrigued me into taking up the art of magic.
When did that happen, though? I mean, were you young? Were you a youngster?
Yeah, my parents bought me a magic set when I was 7 for Christmas. And then I just continued. I enjoyed it. And then one day when I was walking the beat, just got in the department, when I was about age 21, there was a magic and novelty shop on Alakia Street, previously owned by Jimmy Yoshida, but then sold to John Hirokawa's mother. So I went there a couple times every weekend asking them if they could teach me magic, and they kept saying they're waiting for a class. So after about 4 times, they said, oh, come next week, and one guy taught me. And John's mom took a liking to me, so when John was about in the 80s, he was charging for a birthday party for $150, and if he couldn't get it, they'll call me for $25 and $10 for balloon animals. So I was working almost every week.
Wow,
yeah,
and still being an officer.
Yeah.
Wow, John and I went to college together. He's a Lelehua boy.
Yeah.
By the way.
In fact, I'll see him tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, tell him I said, how's it?
Okay.
My goodness. Yeah, he's an amazing, besides being an amazing magician, he's just a good guy.
Yeah,
Just
nice
a good guy. Wow, awesome. I understand where that all came from. So, okay, let's back it up a little bit more. Your magician work, as you got better and you got more skilled, when did you decide, you know what, I can continue doing this and really take it to a different level, or did that ever happen?
Yeah, about 13 years ago, when you get older, and I was bringing my sound equipment and carrying all the illusions like that. About 13 years ago on America's Got Talent, I saw this mentalist, Eric Ditterman, and he used comedy. In the old days, mentalism was all dark like that. But he used comedy. It was kind of fun. And I said, hey, maybe I should try something like that. So I sought out the best around the world, made friends with a lot of people, go to magic conventions, look for the mentalists, give them the local macadamia nut candy and everything like that, and then became friends. And to this day, we get together at least once or twice a year.
Tell me about that world. I mean, I don't know anything about it. I mean, people say, there's no way he knows this, or that was a plant, or how did you get started, skilled, and as good as you are today?
Yeah, it was hard at the beginning. I couldn't understand what was going on. The terminology is totally different from magic. Magic is mainly sleight of hand, and this is mainly sleight of mind. So we use a lot of psychology, intuition, perception, body language. So those skills I had to learn like that too. And slowly I get better at it. A lot of times I miss some things, but I'm pretty close most of the time, yeah.
When you go to a party, somebody hires you and said, hey, we want you to do your, mentalist act, if you will. How is that?
At first, nobody knew what mentalism was.
Right.
So I always say like magical mind or something like a magician, but a little bit more like that. And I was very fortunate because I started to work at restaurants, and that's where I got my practice, working at different restaurants. In fact, after the pandemic, there was I was working at a first birthday party, and there was this family at this table and said, we used to see you at Tony Roma's. We wish you was, too bad Tony Roma's closed. I said, yeah, I was there for 5 years. They went out of business. Before that, I was Sam Choi's Breakfast, Lunch, and Crab. They went out of business. And before that, I was at TGI Fridays, and they went out of business. And
See a pattern there, bro.
Yeah, and this guy stood up from the table, older man, gave me $20, and he said, we own Shimazu Shave Ice. Don't visit
ever
us.
come back.
And I had to go Monday morning. Hi, it's me. Yeah.
Best shave ice in
But the best
in
is
town.
just practice and do it over and over in front of real people. Yeah.
So do you know what I'm thinking right now? I mean, I bet you get that question all the time.
I knew you was going to say that.
Good one.
But we have a process that we go through to get our information like that. Yeah.
Okay, I
I
don't
want
want
to be able to just get it like that. Yeah.
When you say process, not like a plant. I mean, you're
Yeah.
you're
We have you go
reading
through certain
me.
things, and like I said, even like how you like the body language and everything. We go through different things and kind of narrow it down to most likely percentage-wise, he's probably thinking this or whatever, and I can demonstrate a little later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you? So you're scanning the audience and reading the audience when you walk in,
Yeah.
and recognizing, okay, this person is.
In fact, the game starts even before the party. As soon as they call me up, then I start thinking about what I'm going to do and everything like that. And as soon as I arrive already, even before they see me, the game has started already.
What does that mean, though? I mean, aren't you reflecting on the subject matter or the person, or is it something that you even manipulate? I mean,
Yeah, as
I don't
far
want to
as-
get in your
Yeah, I
secrets.
cannot go into too secrets, but
Yeah.
like my like with my police background, I have some investigative background that I have to check them out and everything like that too. So I use all my skills that I know of and put it all together to do what I do.
I see. Okay, I'm curious. Actually, we'll do some stuff on camera if you don't mind later, because I've seen your work, like say at a office party, and what you do. For example, you write down a number or a letter, what people are thinking. You see it on America's Got Talent or whatever it is, and it's just mind blowing what they can do.
I know it's so it blows people away more than when I was performing on a big stage show, and I've even performed a couple times for 10,000 people at the Stan Sheriff Arena with my stage illusion. However, you don't see the crowd, you don't see the reactions. You hear it, but when you perform, like for instance, my mentalism up close, you get really strong reactions from everybody. Yeah.
I feel like you're looking into my soul right now.
Sorry.
Wow, I feel so vulnerable right now. I read or I saw a video on YouTube going back a little bit during the college football championship. I'm not sure if you saw this piece of video. It was a mentalist that Jim Harbaugh had brought to his Wolverine football team before the actual game was started, rather. And he did this exercise with the entire team, and it was just amazing what he did. It was very well choreographed, I guess, but there's no way he should have known all of that. How do you react to that when people are like, "How'd you know that?"
Yeah, because a lot of times I get blown away too. I don't know everything, and when I see something, even some techniques that I do know, and if presented in a different way, it fools me also. And I try to study it and talk to my friends, and then we come back together like that. But I'm very fortunate because I have friends from all around the world, Israel, Pakistan, Malaysia, Germany, Canada, that we have the same interests. So we just gravitate to each other.
How much do you practice when it comes to the sleight of hand? Because you are one of the best in the state. Up close, too. I mean, people can be right on you and...
Well, I can say I'm the best I've seen.
Yeah.
However, as far as mentalism, there's not too much people doing it right now. They're trying to get into it, but I've been doing it for about 13 to 15 years already. So it's not easy to learn because, like it's mentioned, the terminology, everything is totally different from magic. So when magicians see me, they're thinking magic techniques, and then I go around that, and then all of a sudden they get blown away. They don't know what happened. Yeah.
Okay, here's I didn't prepare you for this. So This is totally unprepared, unscripted. And we're in audio land right now with audio podcasts. Can you do something with me right now that's considered mentalist?
Yeah, if you don't mind me using like a prop or something
Absolutely.
like that.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
Oh,
Yeah, and then maybe we'll just talk it through. I mean, I need you to talk into the mic if you can, but
okay.
yeah.
So,
You walk around with stuff in your pocket?
yeah. Well, I brought some things with me like that too. Let's see now. Oh, I know what we do. Just use something, since you mentioned about forks, use something with 2 spoons, 2 solid spoons. Right?
Yeah.
Evenly match. 0.21, right?
Yeah.
Good choice. Help me out. Now watch. And just bend.
Holy Toledo.
Let's see if we can bend it a little bit more. And don't worry, I steal from Zippy's restaurant, so you don't have to pay for it.
Hey, they're one of our sponsors.
It wasn't so funny when I said that and Jason Higo was sitting on the
That's
table.
what I mean.
Now we're good friends, but yeah.
What the? Holy Toledo.
Just make sure it's real.
What a...
Rubber or anything like that. Bending spoon is kind of hard. The secret, adding some heat over here. If you rub it, it gets so soft, you can twist it like this. Twist it. This is called the tornado spoon. Yeah, keep that as a lucky silver there. And see if you can untwist it by any chance.
Holy... I can, but I don't...
Yeah.
I mean, it
takes an effort, right? And I can sign it for you. Let me just sign it.
Wow.
Nobody's really going to believe you.
That is crazy. So is that magic or mentalism?
It's mentalism. It's called telekinesis or psychokinesis, like that. It's movement of an object like that, too. But I use all different techniques to do that, too.
Okay, if you don't mind going back to your microphone, because I want to hear audio on this as well. This is a real spoon. I mean, it's not like I know you said it's a prop, but
Yeah.
This is something that probably somebody used.
Yeah, when I do things and bend things, I like for them to be able to take it home with them and look at it and in their hands like that too. So, yeah.
I know you're not going to tell me, but how'd you do that?
I could tell you, but then I have to kill you.
Okay, we don't want that to happen. I've seen you do things with forks too that are just mind-blowing. So that is considered mentalism.
Correct, yeah.
When does that become... So this is not magic.
Yeah, it's all different techniques like misdirection and, we're using everything together. Even hypnotism type of techniques also. It's all combined what we do.
That is so crazy. Thank you for this. Yeah. I think I could still use this thing. It's like a baby spoon. We'll give it to Jesse with his new baby. Okay, I'm sweating. I promise you I'm sweating right now because I think it's just crazy what you just did. When you bend metal like that, is it because of heat? I mean, I know I'm getting into a space I probably shouldn't be asking, but I know people probably ask you this because when you do it, I mean, you did it right in front of my face.
Yeah. And
is it heat? Is it?
It takes a lot of effort to do it. It's similarly when you tear a telephone book.
Yeah.
You have to just concentrate in one area and just do it. But I've done it so long ago, so much now that, I can do it pretty good.
Yeah. I can do that
Yeah.
too, but that's when I'm unhappy.
Yeah.
And it looks kind of scary because I get into it. But yeah, I know what that part is. I understand that part. Though you still need strength, though.
Yeah.
Shucks, I have so much things racing through my head right now. What does it do for you when you see like my reaction, or someone in the audience, or at an office party, or even at a wedding?
Yeah.
When you see the reaction, what does it do to you?
Yeah, and I wish everybody else see your reaction, because a lot of times people are just looking at me and not looking at you, but I'm looking at you. And you'll be surprised, because a lot of times I do something like that, or bend a quarter or whatever, and I'll always look for the biggest guy in the room, or like a bodybuilder or a football player, and I'll go up to the person, and when you do it, you look at his face, and he becomes childlike.
Yeah.
I mean, he becomes young like that. He doesn't look as mean and like he's a macho guy, and he just it's just the look of wonder, I guess. Yeah.
That must feel good.
Yeah,
Because you're spreading happiness.
Yeah, so a lot of times I tell people, photographers, don't take me, take their reactions. And a lot of the good ones, they got their reactions like that too. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
young
fun.
and old.
Yeah.
The older they are, the younger they react.
Yeah,
It kind of takes you back into a place where everything is possible, right? And I that's why I love magic. I really do. And I shared with you that the first time I ever saw David Copperfield, he was a teenager
yeah,
at Seisibon in Pagoda, and I must have been 6 or 7 years old at the time, and maybe a little bit older. But he became this superstar, and you've met him before.
Oh yeah, several times. Yeah,
So
he's the greatest.
The magician, he's the greatest. I was just going to ask you, who's the greatest
the
ever?
goat.
He's the
greatest-
goat.
Yeah, the greatest
He's the
of all
goat.
time. Yeah.
Houdini.
Yeah, Houdini was before, but people don't know who Houdini is like that. Now with social media and everything like that, everybody knows David Copperfield, and he was on the television specials before too. Yeah,
Making cars disappear and
and still working about 6-7 days a week. I think a couple shows a day. Yeah,
in
crazy.
Vegas,
Yeah.
in Las Vegas. Who's up and coming here in Hawaii? Do we have a large magician mentalist community?
As far as mentalism, no, we don't have anybody really. Like I said, it's getting more and more popular like that too. But we don't have really any. I call myself Hawaii's only mentalist really right now. Yeah, but some people are using magic and trying to do some routines that kind of look like mentalism like that too. But it's totally not the same way presented. Everything. Yeah.
And this is such a visual interview, if you will. And I know we're recording some of it for our social media with Chelsea, and that we'll share. So say you go to and you get hired by office parties and
Correct,
like
yes.
corporations.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
I mean, you performed at the Stan Sheriff Center.
Yeah.
So you've performed in front of large audiences. When you do a large audience, how are you making that connection with one individual, or are you just kind of throwing it out there?
Yeah, that's why now I don't do the real big illusion shows with the big props. So basically, I just do like mainly close-up magic, or I'll do a small parlor show with under maybe 25 people or something. So you still can connect people, and I call it the home concert. Yeah.
And people call you. I'm sure you're busy.
Oh yeah. I'm super busy. Yeah, I do 2 to 3 times a week usually.
Right on. Alan, I'm just again fascinated by this topic, and I'd imagine people would want to learn how to be a mentalist. I mean, but no one's really approached you and said, "Hey, teach me."
Yeah, a lot of people have been, but right now, everything's so deep right now. It's not like it's on YouTube or so accessible like that. When I started magic, they only had books like that and no VHS or tapes and YouTube or whatever. But now, everybody. The kids tell me when I do something at Project Grads, I'm going to Google that, I'm going to look it up on YouTube, but usually they cannot find it because all the deep secrets are in books and they have to read. Yeah.
You remember a few years ago there was a magician who had a program, I think it was on Fox, All the Secrets.
The Masked Magician.
Yeah. And he would reveal how it all went down.
Yeah.
Including some of the cars disappearing and what was, because it was controversial.
And some of the techniques were kind of close and some weren't. like he would levitate somebody with a forklift behind the stage, and we don't do anything like that. However, when I was doing my illusion show, and that's why maybe I kind of changed over, people would think, oh, I know how it's done. It's with the forklift, although I don't have a forklift like that too. So people would know a little bit about it. So I didn't like the feeling that they thought they knew and, like that too. But when I do the mentalist thing, most of the time, they don't know what's happening.
They have no idea. And again, it's so strange though. I mean, magic will always have that audience that's just going to just soak it up and just be in awe. And then you're going to have those who are curious. How did that happen? And then you're going to have another group that's going to be just such skeptics.
Yeah.
I kind of put myself in all three buckets sometimes because it's just, is that real? And then I watch people like Simon Cowell, who's been doing these shows for forever. Anytime a magician comes on, he just like is blown away.
Yeah.
And he's like a child.
At the beginning, he wasn't with the big illusions. But later on, with the close-up of the mentalism, he became, he was really fascinated. Then it kind of took off. And that's when I became interested in that too, that style.
Social media, are you on social media today?
Mainly like Facebook kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And Yelp is real good for me too.
Go crazy on social media. Yeah. If you had a social media expert, you could probably be massive. I'm going to ask you to do a couple more things for our social media audience as well in a few minutes. But anything you wanted to add about this? Just such an exciting field that's taking you on a journey that meet people. You've traveled the world, and you've made people happy. I mean, just your thoughts on that.
Well, I know my mom used to always say that the most important thing is not money, but time. So, you just spend your time with everybody, and make sure they enjoy themselves like that too. Yeah. The goal in life is not, money. It's just making everybody happy like that too. Yeah.
How come you're getting emotional, Alan? How come?
Well, thinking about my mother, like that too, yeah. She used to always give these sayings to me and then trying to instill things in me, and then I'll try to follow to this day, Dress for success, so dress nice like that too. First impression, makes a big deal.
That says a lot about you, says a lot about who your mom was, that she instilled those values in you, but that you still carry them out today.
Yeah.
I mean, you were a servant as a police officer for 30 years, and in many ways you're a servant today by just spreading happiness and making people laugh. And
she would end with, the meaning of life is to share your gift with others. And that's what I always try to think in the back of my mind.
Cool. I want to end it with that. Alan Arita, mentalist, magician. They call you the Sherlock Holmes of magic because obviously for being a police officer for so long. Thanks for stopping by on What School You Went. I'm going to ask you to do a couple more things for our social media audience, but continued success to you. Maybe one day I'm going to ask you to do some mentalism on our team.
Yeah, call me anytime.
You're plenty of skeptics in here at PBS because, we want to get to the bottom of things. Mahalo nui for joining us, folks. Join us next week, another episode of What School You Went. Until then, auiho.
What School You Went is a PBS Hawaii production. Music by Taimane Gardner. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and tell your friends. You can find us on pbshawaii.org and everywhere you get your podcasts.